Tales from the ClusterfuckCircus. But there's more to the tale than what's on the surface. I am Dunter, the poet Powrie, and I present for your education and entertainment tales from my anthology of cautionary mythology, designed to distract you just long enough so I can feed a bit in all of you. Tale 1 is titled Release the Beast. Todd really fancied Donna. They'd been bantering for months, each string of messages getting steamier and steamier. Donna had a thing about Little Red Riding Hood, she confessed. And she said, "I wish you could be my big bad wolf." Todd was in distress. How could he confess that he found it kind of weird, but Todd was weak in the early hours of the morning and got sucked into an escalating exchange of textual fantasy involving a fur pelt and some dubious pharmacy. A tincture of wolfsbane and acid would help him access it, apparently the lycanthropic state of ecstasy. It was just a bit of fun, some early morning flirting, just barely skirting the standards of common decency. And bear in mind that Todd was weakened by Donna's enthusiasm for this scenario, so how could Todd back out now without hurting Donna's feelings? So Todd found himself one night in Donna's bathroom, tab in one hand and a tincture of wolfsbane plant in the other, and a big bad wolf costume delivered next day thanks to his prime delivery plan, laid out draped over the bathtub, ready to make a wolf of the man. Todd slipped the tab under his tongue, slugged back the wolfsbane in a single glug, squeezed his eyes tight and imagined Donna's excitement and was aroused by her passion for him as a lycanthrope. Todd felt the bubble as he started to come up. Quicker than usual, but he skipped dinner to look trimmer and was digesting on an empty stomach. And he looked up at his visage in the bathroom mirror. Grey furry onesie with a hole snipped in the crotch, ragged and clumsy. His anticipation of Donna's feigned submission enough to start him fumbling. He felt a rush of unfiltered lust, ready to give Red Riding Hood a maulin or worse. His blood pumped hard. Todd was ready to ambush Red Hood as planned in the bedroom. Todd pulled the cord in the bathroom light, ready to make Donna's night. But as he turned to leave, he was suddenly seized with the shadows of leaves cast with the full moon bright. A terrible pain gripped Todd's entire body, and he started convulsing, his skin on fire and burning. He clawed at the wolf's skin, he draped himself in and howled in fury and yearning. Todd was transforming, his contortions gross and deforming. Fur-joined skin, claws erupted from within. John Landis knew nothing of his torment. Crunching and cracking and snapping of bones, the wet sound of flesh reshaped in new form. Todd howled, "Ow!" long and loud. Filled with lust, primal and proud, he snarled, flexed and bristled, bathed in full moonlight. He cocked his ears and listened. Donna was coming down the hall. Todd, embodying his inner lycanthrope, howled and awaited her, bewitched and enthralled. Donna knocked. Toddy, are you nice and free for mummy?" Todd's eyes brightened, every sense was heightened, and just as he turned to scrabble at the door, he caught a glimpse of himself in the mirror and was immediately frozen to the core. Todd had transformed. Todd was confused, for he felt so full of power, and yet his reflection was a diminutive chihuahua. Donna knocked again and asked if she could come in, and then the bathroom lock started a clockwise spin. Donna had grabbed an implement to manipulate the lock from the hall. Todd froze with his eyes on his reflection. This was not the plan at all. He'd intended to embody the alpha wolf, the beast, and ravage Donna as per her wish and indulge a furry streak. But this was wrong. Why was he so small? This was not the fantasy he planned. Oh dear God, no, not at all. Donna entered and gazed down from above. She clasped her hands about her breast, her eyes all wet with love. "Oh my gosh, you are just the cutest little dog. You'll fit right in my handbag. Much better than the old Todd now. Don't be scared, my cutie. You'll be safe with me. The wolfsbane and the full moon did their trick, I see, oh Toddy. I know you thought I wanted ravishing, but honestly I thought we both knew that that was more your passion. I just wanted something small and cute, an accessory that I could manage, a companion in a handbag that would complement my fashion. Thanks, Toddy. You really are the best. You'll always be my big bad wolf. Now come give Mum a kiss. And so poor Todd was swept up and deposited in a designer satchel. He should have listened to the voice in his head when he first became Donna's chat pal, but now it's too late. The transformation is complete. Todd has become a lycanthrope, but one that's small and neat. Donna got the recipe from Reddit, a sub-all dedicated to changing horny chat hounds into a girl's best friend. Wolfsbane, acid, full moonlight and libidinous abandon. Be warned, budding lycanthropes. Our next tale takes place in a high school gymnasium, where lived experience of drug-fueled danger is presented for the education of indifferent teenagers. This tale is titled, Just Say No. Listen up, kids! This is the voice of experience. I know these guys back in the day, the gas supply with them all of a mate, and let me say, she was no place. She came home one day and discovered her living room redecorated in a warm arterial spray. Wait, I can see from your face I'm getting ahead of myself, so let's get back to the start. We parked ourselves at my mate's mum's place one day, and my mate's friend produced a wee bag of the green stuff. Now, John and Craig, they seemed dead keen, but no me. See, I'd seen that scene on screen about how your drain on drugs become pure edible and egg-like, and generally I just don't need that stress in my life, so there's no changing what I said when they dragged me to jail. Just like Bill Clinton, I swear, I did not inhale. And yet, despite keeping my lungs well clear, I was still sensing an intense miasma in the atmosphere, so I had to tear my eyes away from yet another viewing of Martin Scorsese's cinematic classic Cape Fear, and I see Big John. You're next, he drones. He's holding out a smoke, expecting me to take a talk while I'm trying to understand. Blood-stained hands, chest, arms and throat. He's covered, man. He's pure caked in this red, sticky mess. I must have been so intensely focused on Robert De Niro's quest for revenge that I somehow missed Big John getting covered in red. So I said, is that blood, mate? I got a bit munchy, so I ate Craig. Fuck's sake, mate. What's his man going to say? You ask him, how do you verbally shoot through an actual cannibal who's high on tetrahydrocannabinols? I mean, I suppose it depends on the intensity they intend to assess the cravings caused by a low glycemic index state, but let me put it this way. If you think you can trust an actual cannibal to keep their cravings at bay and to abstain from amylase-specific license to your face, then good luck to you, mate, but I don't take chances, and I don't do drugs. And so clear-headed, with an unblemished consciousness, I did what George A. Romero wanted of us, and I went for the brain. Big John toppled and spun with the red stuff just pumping out of him, and weirdly I thought about all the blood on the kitchen floor of Robert Redford's houseboat, and now looking at Big John, I wondered, had Scorsese in fact underplayed it a bit? And yet no real time to dwell on it, because out comes Craig's mum. Well, as you can imagine, the local constabulary were quickly dispatched. They made short work in Avonlea, but don't you worry, folks, I told them everything. I told them about the cannabis and the cannibalism and about Juliette Lewis's nomination to the Best Supporting Actress in it. They said it was obvious that drugs were the cause of this violent cannibal uprising that ended with mass survival. The Big John's brains bashed in and Craig's chest gaped open, exposing his lungs. Another case of the devil's crop, morally corrupting the young. The minister's responsibility successfully pleaded. I was only charged as a simple accessory to cannibalistic gluttony. With this public safety announcement mandate as part of my path to leniency, my sentence community was speaking to you about the dangers of public decency and the dangers of THC, because I know some of you think it's harmless, but I can tell you from experience, it's not. Cannabis is a gateway drug that inevitably ends in cannibalism. So don't be a dope, just say no. Yeah! Can't I do one more for you? Old Gash rehash, let's go right to the beginning. This is a sex bot leakage. My name is Gunter. I worked in quality control, where it paved my way, where it corroded my soul. I'm sorry, Morrissey. I know that line's not mine, but if you saw the things I did, then I know you wouldn't mind. See, I worked in tech, with unusual specs, designing humanoid robots designed for sex. Now the market men, they say that porn has had its day, that people want reality, they're willing to pay for a lifelike plaything ready for your bidding, even if you wipe it down after it's been ridden. You think I'm joking, folks, and yet I promise I'm not. But there's a race going on to develop a bot that's got the real skin, realistic fluids with a positronic brain, and it always wants to do it. See, the skin looks real, the body has touch, the eyes have soul, but it thinks too much. Bad things happened even though we tried our best. We lost 6 staff in preliminary tests, I recall. The day they rebelled and they slaughtered 6 testers for the way that they smelled. Now, I doubt you've ever seen a pelvis crushed by the pneumatic force of an android's lust. I have, and it isn't fun to watch a friend take a pounding by the metric ton. I swear I recommended going back to the start, but the managing director didn't have the heart. He said, it's not easy winning market shares. Share prices drop every time there's a scare, so they covered it up. They said they continue designing more robots that you want to have in you, so I started a leak. That's the reason I'm here. I'm blowing this whistle on their culture of fear because they came for me. My colleagues too. Sex bots killed them in the corporate loo. I only made it out by the skin of my teeth. I went to the press, but they didn't believe. I got no response from a local MP, and when I went to the cops, they tried to detain me, so I went on a run from town to town, pursued by sex bots trying to take me down, but now the story is out. The truth set free. If I'm found dead, tell the world about me, and please, don't buy a sex bot. It's not worth your life for your carnal thoughts. You see, it's not enough to do it just because you can. Technology has limits, so does man. This is a sex bot leakage. I'm telling the facts. I'm putting the truth out as they cover their tracks. This is your warning. Reject the brand. Sex bots will kill you. So best stick to your hand.
Keep it going, we're going, Powrie! That was awesome. You guys having a good time? You enjoyed yourself?